Hello everyone, today we will talk about the transit of the Sun. The transiting Sun is in Quincunx with the natal Moon. How the transiting Sun behaves in Quincunx with the natal Moon depends on the position of the natal Moon. This transit may be more prominent in your life if you already have planets in aspect to your natal Moon. But the basics are as follows. The transit of the Sun in Quincunx with the natal Moon brings a changeable personality and unstable moods. What you think you should do and how you feel about something are often at odds. You are also particularly sensitive when you notice criticism or do not receive the praise you expected. Your ego and emotions are hurt. This day makes a link to your connection with the past, an emotional security that is not aligned with the ways in which you consciously express your will and desire. The resulting stress can usually be seen in your relationships that day. You will feel this inside as if you are unable to truly relax and find harmony in your relationships. And acting from the outside will be according to one's will at the expense of one's feelings and according to one's feelings at the expense of one's will or ego. In the end, we have two things that certainly do not make us feel satisfied. So, try not to let your own insecurities rule the day. If you have a desire to keep old relationships, you need huge concessions that hinder your own development. In this way, you create situations that bind you with obligations to people that you find difficult to free in the end. They end up causing you constant stress and tension, and will do everything to make you feel anxious, neurotic, and insecure. Integration, of course, would be ideal. If you have doubts about your relationship with a family member, the relationship to which you are most attached, due to a small bump in the road in that relationship today, you will complicate your life so much that someone might suspect that you enjoy the suffering of others. Your desire to be of service to people would be put to better use if you get a job with that goal in mind. Uncertainty about what you want out of life is a source of much guilt, and it is guilt that will trigger the automatic response of overseeking to please others. So here there is a danger of abusing your health when you give in to the demands that people make on your time and energy. Therefore, it is best to overcome the feeling that you owe them anything. With the transit of the Sun and the Moon, there is always the possibility that your assertive, masculine side is replaced by your emotional feminine side. If one side dominates, tension escalates until a rapid change occurs and the tension subsides. Then you will live this day in accordance with the demands of others, and this can easily become your lifestyle. Simply that you constantly make adjustments and compromises. Also try to integrate emotions, intuition, and logic at this time and try not to take things personally, this too shall pass. We have the Quincunx meeting of these incompatible planets twice a year. Incompatible planets' signs and houses. Nothing matches, so we can't even expect a simple day. Furthermore, you have no right to interfere in other people's lives by taking their responsibilities upon yourself. What would you try to prove with that? That if one side of your personality always dominates, that you feel uncomfortable, then you look for your hidden side in others. So, you try to win their approval because you really feel you deserve it? Either way, in family relationships with others, you will offer too much to someone, and then feel taken advantage of, because your personal goals don't align with family members or someone you count on as a caregiver. In the end, such relationships seem harmonious, but until your mood changes, then your family will not cope with it, and they will feel as if they do not know you. If, on the other hand, you expect to have to make compromises in life in order to get what you want, but in the process, you underestimate your own needs. You tend to experience bursts of asserting independence and autonomy, but when you do, you'll feel guilty. But rest assured that you are probably far more competent than those you serve, you just don't know it at the moment. You should devote more time to your jobs and capitalize on your own talents and creative abilities. Let your contribution be developing your potential and gaining recognition for excellence in everything you do. It's painful to sympathize with anyone who comes to you with a story of misfortune, and it's not exactly the right advice for a day like this. Try to prepare, learn to adapt, compromise or adjust your behavior to avoid the sometimes dramatic tipping point when your stress levels peak. You need to work on accepting both sun and moon in your personality in order to feel whole and avoid sabotaging relationships with self-defeating attitudes. Channel that sympathy into activities that can bring you some benefits.